Here I do a simple setup. Alright. I am adding the width node. The width node is used to control the width attribute of the fibers. Control the width along the length of the fibers using base and tip width. Base and tip parameter defines where along the fiber the base and tip start or end. Let's use curl node. Curl is used to create curls or ringlets from the input fibers. Controls the length of the actual curl. This can also be thought of as the phase of the curl. We can control root and tip curl. We need more fiber segments to demonstrate curl better. If maintain length is on, the curl will resample the fiber to ensure the length is maintained post-evaluation, but may shorten the appearance of the result. Also, U and V controls the scale of the curl perpendicular to the fiber. The straggle node is used to add straggle, or controlled noise, to the length of a fiber. This is extremely useful to break up fur silhouettes and make the groom look more organic. Scraggle frequency controls the size of the scraggle effect. Space parameter control if the scraggle is applied using the length of the fiber as a reference space or the parameter of the fiber. Also, control distribution to be uniform along the surface or randomized for each fiber. Controls how many of the fibers should have the effect applied using percentage. Let's use bend node. Bend is used to bend fibers either towards or away from the surface. We can change normal and up vector to define the orientation of the bend. Adjust the overall direction of fibers using the direction node. The roll is the amount of rotation around the main axis and inclination is the amount of rotation around the secondary axis. I have a simple setup here. By default, a strand in a groove has the potential of affecting any fur element created in the graph. By adjusting the radius of influence, you can limit the radius at which the strands affect the data. Here I have a curve and a curve set. The guide node uses the incoming guide curves to deform the fibers to follow the direction and shape of the curves. Here I am going to import the curve into Yeti. I changed the type to the guide, but no curve is recognized by Yeti. This means we should add the guide set in Yeti input graph. I'm adding my guide set in the input guide set. Now we can select our guide set and connect that to the second input of guide node. Now we can control all parameters by selecting our curve. Guide node is very important for rigging, especially feathers. Previously, we worked with comb and clump node. In this lesson, we worked with curl, straggle, bend, width, direction, and guide node. I will mention motion node in the animation section.